Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the pros and cons of working in customer service versus working in the pharmacy. The reason I'm going to be doing this video, and I might actually turn this into a little series and do different departments and compare them, is because I do have a lot of experience in multiple departments. So I was like, why don't I go ahead and portray that to you guys? I know a lot of you aren't just interested in working as a cashier or a bagger. Some of you want to become deli clerks or meat clerks or just work in different departments. A lot of times the pay might be a little bit better, or they just like the job somewhere else. So I want to go ahead and broaden up a little bit the content that I am doing. Now, even though I do feel like a lot of my videos is broad, it's like how to ace the interviews or how to get hired, and that can work for just about any department that you decide to work at, I still want to narrow it down just a little bit more and compare differences between departments. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on those comparisons that I'm going to do in different departments. I know I have a lot of subscribers who are interested in the deli and the meat departments, so that's going to be a video coming very soon. In today's video though, I'm going to be talking to you guys about, I'm sorry, do you guys hear my dog eating? I don't know. If you guys hear a noise, it's my dog. She decided to have dinner at this time, which it's currently 11 o'clock at night, so she has dinner pretty late. But anyways, when I say customer service, I am referring to all the front end positions. Customer service, even though yes, we have a actual customer service desk with customer service associates, but when big managers say the customer service department, that is referring to everyone who works that front end, including cashiers, bagger, and anyone else who stands around that area. Now, the reason I decided to compare the baggers and cashiers and customer service clerks with the pharmacy is simply because these two departments are hiring like crazy right now, especially pharmacy. So I actually did have a specific encounter that motivated me to do this video. I had one of my old friends from high school message me and say that she got a call back from Publix asking her if she wanted to work in the pharmacy. Did she apply for pharmacy? No. She probably applied for, I think it was as a cashier, but she was willing to take any position up in the front. Why? Because the positions up in the front are the ones that deal with the most customers. Your job is I would say it's a little funner because it's not like something specific. A lot of different case scenarios present itself because you're literally there to take care of the customers. But when they called her, they asked her if she was interested in working in the pharmacy. Now, the reason a lot of pharmacies, not just at Publix, like in a lot of different stores, I mean Walgreens, Walmart, just a lot of different places, they're looking for pharmacy technicians, pharmacy support, just anyone who can come and help in the pharmacy, is because of the whole pandemic that's going on. Most of these places are offering the vaccine and they are super behind on their actual medication refills. They're just behind overall. The lines are getting really long. People are getting impatient and rude and upset, and that's not the goal of none of these companies. So it is very common right now for a lot of pharmacies to be looking for pharmacy techs. So that goes into play. The actual scenario I just told you guys, she did not have in her mind at all to go work in a pharmacy. She actually really just wanted to be a cashier, possibly customer service associate, but obviously you have to move up for that position. You don't just get into Publix and just start working that position. So she wanted to come in as a cashier or a bagger and move her way up in the front end aspect. Now, they asked her for the pharmacy. I don't know if they are still gonna hire her if she denies the pharmacy. If she's like, I don't want to work in the pharmacy, can I work as a cashier? I do not know if they will still hire her. Why is that? Because a lot of these Publixes are installing self-checkout. A lot of our jobs are getting cut. A lot of people's hours are getting cut. Everything is just diminishing. So I'm not sure if they would necessarily need her as a cashier. Does that mean that they don't need her in maybe a different department, produce or deli, something that she might have actual interest into? Possibly, because I know pharmacy is kind of like that oddball out. It definitely has nothing to do with groceries. At least if you work in produce, you're still dealing with groceries. Even though it's just like fruit and vegetables, it's still groceries. And likewise for any other department. Pharmacy is not like that. Pharmacy is medication. So I can understand where she's coming from. Like I said, not sure if they would still hire her. Every case scenario would be different. So if that is a similar case scenario that has happened to you, I wouldn't know what to tell y'all, like in the sense of I don't know if the manager would still hire you. I definitely don't want to tell you guys to say yes to working in a pharmacy and then you guys don't do a good job or you guys don't like it, because then you're just setting yourself up to just do bad and have that reputation that you don't work well. So when it's time to change you to be a cashier or something, you have that reputation that, oh, so-and-so did not do good in pharmacy. What can she possibly do here as a cashier? So it definitely depends on you, on what you're looking for. You wanna play? You wanna play while I'm doing this video? She wanna play. Now, like I said, normally people wouldn't just ask you straight off the bat, oh, do you want to work in a pharmacy? If you have no interest in medicine, you're not gonna flourish. You're not gonna flourish in that department. But since it is one of those higher demand departments right now that are asking for employees because they're so backed up, I mean, the lines are getting long, it's just getting crazy for them because of everything that's going on. I know that that's an easy in for some people, so that's why I wanted to just compare the two. So let me go ahead and stop rambling and just get right into it. Now, the first thing I want to say, I think these are just the biggest key points, is usually when you're in customer service, you know, referring to also cashiers and baggers, sometimes if the store isn't too busy, and I'm not saying that this is the correct thing to do, and I'm not telling y'all to do it, and I try not to do it, but we're all human. Obviously, like, sometimes the store isn't very busy, especially if you have a morning shift or a late shift, and if you don't have a lot of customers around and you're a cashier, there's no one really there, and you want to check your phone, you have a little bit more leeway to do so. You don't have somebody constantly behind your back unless your store is ridiculously busy, number one. Number two, there's a lot of cashiers and baggers. So if you need to go to the bathroom or if you need to do something, there's people who can cover you, okay? Number three, people, I would definitely say, is more fun. Customer service is a bigger department, so there's more activities, more managers, more everything, more associates, and it just makes things a lot more fun. The customers, a lot more happier, I feel like, when they come and check out with you. Why? Because when they are checking out with the cashier, they're usually buying groceries, they're buying ice cream and cake and fun stuff and food and whatever. When you check out in a pharmacy, you're usually buying a drug, or you're getting upset because the pharmacist doesn't want to give you, not that he doesn't want to give you, but the pharmacist can't give you a drug because your insurance didn't cover it, stuff like that. So people tend to get very rude, very loud. And I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't happen in the customer service department, especially in the customer service desk. People will go there with complaints a lot. You know, I think for the most part, at least in my store, we don't get a lot of complaints, but usually that's where people go when they have a complaint. But pharmacy, I feel like it's a lot easier for these complaints to rile up, because if you're, for example, addicted to a specific drug or something like that and you don't get it, you're gonna lash out. Like, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, why can't you just give it to me? And like I said in previous videos, I've said it, an addiction makes you do crazy stuff. So we've had crazy scenarios in customer service too, but I just want to give you guys a feel. Another thing is, obviously, from what I just said, you have more leeway, it's more fun. Customer service, I honestly love being a customer service associate. I love being a cashier, a bagger. I just think it's fun. You're there with people who are usually your same age, and there's a lot of different ages. So if you're a little older, a little younger, there's everybody works in that front end. And I just think the job isn't so excruciating. I think it's something that everyone can learn. It's flexible. There's a lot of people, a lot of different customers, and I like to socialize, so it works well for me. Now, in the pharmacy, I like it as well too, simply because I have a little bit of previous knowledge since I do work in a medical office. So I like it because I can connect both of them, and as of right now, I work both of them. But I would definitely say that the pharmacy is a more serious setting. It is definitely more professional. It's usually 2 or 3 people in the pharmacy, especially my pharmacy is very small, so it doesn't even fit a lot of people. So even if we had the help, we just can't fit it in there physically. So it's definitely more serious. When you start training for pharmacy, you have to be writing stuff down. I mean, I got a whole book that I was supposed to fill out. It's just a lot more notes, a lot more studious. Whereas in when you become a cashier, usually somebody will take you to the cashier and tell you how to do stuff, and you just do it. They're gonna tell you, here's your login, and now you just swipe stuff and call me if you have a question. I'm gonna be begging for you. It's just so much of, I feel like, an easier learning strategy, simply because it just doesn't require a lot. It's not a lot of science to swiping an item. So I'm not trying to say that, oh, pharmacy, it's just so much to learn. No, it has its rights. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we have to learn so much. I mean, we are giving away, not giving away, but we're dealing with controlled medicine and uncontrolled medicine and stuff that can really affect someone's health. So obviously we have to go through training, we have to do exams, we have to take notes and know what we're doing before we mess up someone's order. So it is understandable why the pharmacy requires these things. So I know right now, since pharmacy is hiring, not just the company I work at, but every company is hiring pharmacy technicians, you still want to make sure that it is something that you see yourself doing, or something that, even if you don't, let's say, love it, but that you're gonna do good at. Because keep in mind, like, essentially what you're doing could affect somebody else. Make sure you keep that in the back of your mind. But like I said, I would definitely say a cashier, since it doesn't require as much. It is a little easier to learn. You don't really have to be taking notes. You just kind of like swipe items and go, and you deal with customers who are happy. The pharmacy, more serious, more professional, less people. The people who are coming from the outside, you know, like customers and stuff that come to the pharmacy counter, they're not always in the best mood. I mean, sometimes there are, and I'm not trying to downplay the position. I'm not trying to talk you guys out from being in the pharmacy. If you think you can handle it, I think you can handle it, but don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park. Also, I always say this, it always depends on who your manager is. When you have a good manager, I feel like everything is possible. I think everything's possible regardless, but when you have a good manager, it makes things so much easier. It is awful having to learn when you have a bad manager, because you're practically teaching yourself. And we've all been there, because when you work in a company for so long, managers are constantly changing, and you deal with good ones, bad ones, okay ones. So you just have to be focused yourself and be willing to learn. In the pharmacy, like I said, you're gonna have to take a lot of notes. You're gonna have to study a lot. You have to take like 8 hours worth of like CBTs, and it can be a little tiring. I like them though, because the way Publix sets it up is kind of like in a fun CBT. There's like little people that will talk in the CBT, and it doesn't make it feel like it's so much of like work rather than you just learning. And I take notes when I see these CBTs, because essentially it's like a video that you're watching of people explaining how to do things inside the pharmacy. Now, once you're in the pharmacy, even though it might be your first week, you're still gonna be taking notes, because there's a lot of stuff you need to know how to do. You need to know how to do stuff for the pandemic, for the vaccines, for the refills, how to stock stuff. Like, you are your own little department, okay? The district manager, for example, there's one district manager for all of Publix, and that includes the meat department, the bakery, produce, the customer service, grocery. It includes all the departments, but it does not include pharmacy. Pharmacy has its own district manager. Pharmacy has its own pharmacy manager. So it's just kind of like its little own island inside of Publix. I definitely think it's a great opportunity. Me in particular, I know you guys are probably like, okay, pharmacy does not sound all that fun. I don't want to do it anymore. I think it's a good opportunity. I think if you're trying to work in the medical field, it is a good opportunity, number one. Number two, you learn a lot of things, and I feel like that is just one of the biggest things you can have. A life is knowledge, you know, even though that might not be the same career path you want to end in, at least you can be like, I've done this, and it gives you experience for future jobs, and you don't know how you can use that experience in the future. For example, I worked a lot in a medical office, and I didn't really like it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna come out with some videos about it. I'm gonna be telling you guys what I did as a medical assistant, things that I went through, stuff like that. So stay in tune for that as well. But I overall didn't really like it. I didn't feel comfortable there. When I originally got hired, I had no experience. So everything I learned was like straight off, you know, pen and paper. I was just writing, because I knew that the reason they wanted me was more because of my personality, and not so much maybe because of my brains. Not because I'm not smart, but I really didn't have any knowledge on medications. Now, I worked in that medical office and I learned a lot, and because of that, I was able to land other jobs that deal with medicine, including the one here in the pharmacy. I used to look back and think that, oh, I wasted my time in the medical office, because there was really like no way to move up in that medical office. It's either like you work as a medical assistant or you are the doctor. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so I wasn't thrilled about it. And I just felt like I had wasted my time. But no, because it opened doors for me, and who knows how many other doors it can open for me, because I have that experience, I have that knowledge, and I've learned from all the mistakes I've done as well as the good things that I've done. Because when you commit a mistake, it's just a lesson learned. It's not it's not that serious all the time. Sometimes, yes, it is serious, but not all the time. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and conclude this video. I don't want to make it too long, but I hope that covered some of the stuff, some of the questions people have. I really wanted to talk about pharmacy because, like I said, it is an easy in right now, but I don't recommend it if you don't think that you would like flourish in the environment. If you feel like you're such a people person that you're just gonna feel like enclosed in there, stuff like that, I personally wouldn't recommend it. But do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like you can handle. And like I said, this isn't me trying to push you guys towards one thing or the other. Overall, it's a great company. So if you can get into the produce or bakery or one of the other departments, take it. You can always voice your concern and be like, I'm just really interested in being a cashier. I think cashiers, especially if you don't have any previous work experience, that is the route to go, a bagger and a cashier, and move your way up from there. And who knows, eventually you could probably be in the pharmacy, but you don't have to start straight off the bat working in the pharmacy if you feel like you're not ready, because it is a lot. And especially as a first job, it might be a little overwhelming, but maybe you can handle it. I have faith in you. Do you have faith in you? Because I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting, and please subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below if you want to see more videos like this where I compare different departments and tell you the good and the bad, because I definitely think that's kind of cool. Give you guys a feel for different departments. I just think that would be so much fun. All right, see y'all soon. Bye.